respected dignitaries on the dais, and my colleagues and my dear students. I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday when my student, Dr. Alvin Miskith, and Mr. Reggie came with very serious face to my office and told me that there was a task that I had to perform. And they told me, sir, we have a panel discussion with very eminent panelists, and we want you to moderate the session. And I knew both of them were from economics. And I am a BSc graduate. I didn't study economics at all. But then they told me that this was an interdisciplinary approach to economics. I became a little calm there. And I also saw the names among the panelists, and I can vouch for everybody who is here of people who are donning different hats. They are good at many things. They are multitasking, and they have a lot of experience. Some of them are young, others are people who have more than 3 decades of experience in this great institution. How I garnered courage to sit in the middle of this very eminent panel is, I draw a salary. And on 20th of every month, I start worrying about whether I have enough money to go through the month. So I realized this is economics. I was sharing it with Kavita ma'am when I was seated there, and she said, yes, economics is everywhere. And I'm sure all of you agree with me when you say that we are moving towards a borderless world. We are in a globalized society, if I can call it that. And I think gone are the days of ultra specialization. And even if there is ultra specialization, everybody has to know everything else today. And I think that is the spirit of interdisciplinary research, study, learning, application, call them what you will. We have to be inclusive. We usually talk about this term inclusiveness or inclusivity. I think that also holds good in this scenario that we are going to discuss about. I don't think there are watertight compartments any longer. I don't think we can pigeonhole everything into this department, that department. I think even the NEP has made it very clear that though information, data, and knowledge is important, skills are more important. And I think all of you who are seated here are very much interested in this program. I'm so happy to see all of you here. And I'm sure that all the panelists will be able to throw open all the opportunities that are there. I'm sure they're going to touch upon the challenges that are there also. And we are already in the 21st century. And recently our institution became a deemed to be university. So the challenges are more, but the opportunities are also more. And I think all of us are proud that we are a part of this great temple of learning, I must call it. So let me not take more time now. In fact, my job is to set the tone. And I believe I have tried to set the tone for what is going to come. And let me say that basically, this is the order in which the organizers have told me that the speakers will be presenting to all of you. I think Mr. Manoj Fernandez, who is again a very talented person, because I have been observing him, and he is a very good organizer and he's a good manager. I think he's going to speak from the perspective of management or managerial economics and the sort of relationship that is there between management and economics. So I'm sure it'll be exciting, it'll be informative, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot from him. So he will have about 10 minutes. And I now hand over the mic to Mr. Manoj Fernandez from the Business Management Department.
for how long you'll keep staring at this phone. Is it going to give you your livelihood? Now, this was a question asked to me when I was using my phone under the bedsheet somewhere around 12:30, and my mom happened to see that. And today, if at all she had asked that question, I can say, this phone will help me to earn my livelihood in one or the other way. In management, there are so many areas. I have been specifically asked to check upon one thing called digital marketing or social media marketing. So good afternoon to everyone. And there are 3 examples which I have come across. If you've gone to Mangala Stadium in Lal Bagh, recently there's one food truck which made a lot of buzz. The name of the food truck is Sai Tiffin, known for their jaggery shira. And there's one idli, I forgot the name. What idli it is? Bullet idli, something. Anyhow, okay. So it so happened that they opened their food truck 3 months ago, and they were about to shut down because there was no response for 10 days. And then there is an Instagram page called Try Tindi. You have heard about this. And the person went there and covered. They had just got 4 to 5 items. There are 2 people, mother and son. Okay. And now if you go there, first of all, it went to cross million views in Instagram. And now if you go there near that Mangala Stadium entrance, after placing an order, you will have to wait for minimum 20 minutes to get your item. This is what you're supposed to do in pub bus. But a food truck, that much people are coming over there, and it has helped them. The social media post has helped them to earn their livelihood. There is one YouTube channel, at least some of your mothers must be definitely following this in Mangalore. It's called as Priya's Madhyama Kutumba. And all she does is, whenever she goes to a hotel, whenever she goes to a shopping, she does the vlogs and she uploads. And she has got 1.2 million subscribers, 12 lakh subscribers. Don't ask about the watch hours. And just 6 months ago, this is what she has disclosed, she is going for one 2,000 square feet house construction only with the help of money she is generating from her YouTube channel. She is not a PhD or something. Whenever she goes, anything, even if a crow is there on her compound wall, she makes a vlog. And there are people who are watching it. I'll not name this institution. I'm in very close connection with this institution. It's a renowned media house of Mangalore. And this is what the founder CEO told me. They've got 80 plus employees, because this is supposed to be confidential, that's what I'm not naming it. There are 80 plus employees, starting from editor, TV anchors and all. And every month, the salary comes in lakhs for those 80 people. But the whole salary of 80 people in that media house is paid by the income they are getting in their YouTube channel. 3 examples. If you ask Virat Kohli by any chance, hypothetical, there's a match, RCB, yes. And you just give this poster you just send it to Virat Kohli. Somebody must be his social media manager. He's not handling it. And you just ask him to share the poster. You have created the content, and he has to just, the moment you're sending the collaboration, he has to press on that accept button. Okay. Any idea for that how much he will charge? 9 crores. 9 crores. All right. And, because he has got 267 million, he is the most followed celebrity in India. And that is a reach. He's not even acting in your advertisement. He's not even your brand ambassador. He's just sitting in some corner of the world with his son Akai, and he's just pressing that particular button, and 9-10 crores is his charge. Forget about, you must be wondering, this is the life of celebrities. Maybe we cannot resonate with these lives. When college appointed me as the coordinator for the digital media cell, I got Jayant, who is the staff here. And they had given me the task to go for the publicity about the college in the social media, and we were in need of some support. And at that point of time, I understood one fact: in the digital world, no support comes free of cost. We had to collaborate with some very famous local Instagram pages, and we came across a page called Mangalore Mary Jan, which has got, I guess, 2.5 lakh followers. And imagine now there is Rangotsava, which is going on. Prakash Rai and his team, they are managing. And if at all we have to, we are making one reel. Jayant will be shooting it, he will be editing it, I'll be supervising it, we are giving the subtitles, and again we are sharing the collaboration for a local channel, just a local Instagram page. Of course, the Mangaloreans worldwide who are present might be following it. And we were asked, if at all you want us to accept your collaboration, you have to give us 4,000 rupees per post. And by evening, they will send a bill, which I have to submit to the principal with the GST, state GST, central GST, and everything. And I was just wondering, they've got thousands of posts already. How many, one day I sat and counted how many such collaborations they are accepting per day. On an average, it is 20 collaboration. Imagine a local guy, all right, 20 collaborations. Every collaboration will give him 4,000. And I asked him, how many employees do you have in your companies? He said 4. All right, per day, so per month calculation, you can imagine. Now, today onwards IPL, but whenever Indian cricket team is playing their matches, for their jersey, there is one sponsor, right? Earlier there was Sahara, then Byju's, which is then in news for wrong reasons. Who are the present sponsors of the cricket jersey of Indian team? Dream 11, all right? It is just an online betting app. You might use the better words, but it is a betting app wherein you will have to pay the money and guess who will be the good player for the day. And their annual income for last year was 6,384 crores. Dream 11. No wonder they paid 358 crores and got the right to be the sponsors for the Indian cricket team. We order everything through Zomato, Swiggy, or OLX, or anything for that matter, right? We call it as online marketing. It is a virtual marketing. And the business which was done in India last year, only in online marketing, without even visiting the shop, the amount came up to 125 lakh crores. 125 lakh crores. It will take half a day for us to count the zeros. Okay, so now when it comes to all these things, this is one side, one positive side of digital marketing and how economics is playing a role. Many people have made their careers, but there's always another side of the coin. I'll tell you one thing. The moment there's one example, this is what happened in Delhi. Online marketing, most of the time they're known for their discounts and offers. So there's one couple, sophisticated couple who are working for the corporate. They came across a discount offer for a Fitbit watch. You heard about this? Fitbit watches. It will help you to count the calories, especially those who are having any inclination towards the gym activities, fitness activities. They'll be very eagerly going for it. Even if you walk certain steps, it will tell today you have walked 1,000 steps, 10,000 steps. One couple had couple goals in fitness. Okay, fitness. Both of them wanted to start their fitness journey, jogging and all. So they went and got 2 watches in online marketing. And just to tell you the other side of the story, and they got a discount also. And there is one extra technological option, which Royal Sir perhaps explained in a far better way. There's something called synchronization, which means both the watches can be connected to one dashboard in one laptop. Which means if, my girlfriend is working out, then I can draw some inspiration. She has burned so many calories and I can increase my fitness regime. It so happened. Things were going on very well. Okay, newly married. And after 3 months, husband was supposed to go to one foreign country for a business trip. He informed his wife and everything. He landed there at 11 o'clock local time in that country. Here 11 o'clock in the night. And here somewhere it must be around 12:30 or 1 o'clock. He called his wife and said, I am going to bed because tomorrow early morning there's a meeting lined up for me. And he went to sleep. Good night, sweet dreams, everything was done. Within 1 hour, wife was like, she was not getting proper sleep. So she just thought, let me measure how many calories I have burnt and what is the thing. And my husband has traveled by flight. So what could be the equation? She checked her, everything was okay. And when she's tracking the calories burnt by her husband, there's a live coverage coming in last half an hour, that is 1:30 to 2 o'clock night timing. After telling his wife that he's going to bed, he has burnt 110 calories. Whatever you are guessing has happened. All right? Okay? So it could be, you can't say a man burns 120 calories in half an hour when it comes to a sexual activity. All right, some people are wondering what must have happened. All right. Okay, now there is a case. My bottom line is this: whether you are using internet or not, internet is definitely using you. Be smart in this digital world and don't forget to remove your watches. Thank you.
Mr. Manoj Fernandez, I think all of you now understand what I was saying, that all the people on the days are people who are wearing different hats, and one of the hats worn by Mr. Manoj very beautifully is that of being a compeer and an MC. He is a content creator also, and I think very creatively he has brought out the relationship between economics and management without even saying it even once. So I thank you for a beautiful presentation, and please keep your questions in your mind. After all the panelists have completed their presentations, we will have a QA session wherein we will try to find out whatever other things that you would like to find out from the experts over here. Now I would like to call upon Dr. Santosh Govias, who is again somebody who will be able to throw a lot of light on how economics can coalesce with science. So he is a biotechnologist, and I'm sure that he will be able to tell us all the opportunities that are available for economists in the field of science. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. At the outset, I would like to thank the economics department led by Professor Maran Arceravo for organizing such a wonderful session, an interdisciplinary approach to economics. So they have asked me to speak on how science and economics go well hand in hand. Now to start with, as we often think that science and economics may be distinct. They are two different domains and they are distinct also. But I can say that one side you have economics, which is more of allocating resources as well as wealth. On the other side, as you know, science is more of focusing on research, experiments, as well as finding out, different parts of the world. So those two things are there which go hand in hand. And also I can tell you there is a symbiotic, I use this word, later I'll give you the example what is symbiotic. There is a symbiotic relationship between science and economics. So without economics, we cannot do research, and with the development of research, we can also contribute to the economy of the country. So I'll give certain examples because I don't want to talk more on science language because there are economic students. So I'll talk about simple examples I'll give how science can contribute to economics and the other way also. Somebody mentioned about economics is a queen of social science. So maybe I can say science may be the king of all. Then I can tell you what happens between the marriage between the king and queen. Maybe later I'll give certain example. So let me start with one example, that is I can consider healthcare and medicine, okay, and economics. How healthcare medicine is connected to economics. All of you are aware because after COVID-19 we all aware of vaccines, right? So much around 17th century when they discovered vaccine, so it also contributed to the growth of the country because of the development of vaccine, what happens? The death rate comes down. So as a result, automatically there is an increase in the healthcare. So that is one aspect. Second aspect is I can tell about environmental economics because I'll connect with the economics with certain aspects of science. So maybe if we can talk about environmental economics. So where scientific knowledge plays a crucial role. Now what scientists will do in economics, that is environment, that is they will study about the climate change. Now today it is a need of the hour because we are talking about greenhouse gases. So all these things. So they study about this and they will give certain data and they will analyze the data. Now what economists will do? Now economists based on this they develop certain policies and these go hand in hand. So in all the sectors if I talk about, there is a correlation between science and economics. That is another example. One more example I would like to give you, that is how scientific innovations drive the economic growth. Now if you think about smartphone, I think Royal sir may talk about much more about that. So I'll just give an example about smartphone and also advances in material science, and as well as about semiconductors nowadays. So how these, because of this, all these smartphones, you can have all the apps in your mobile phones, and you can track all these things. Manoj sir just now gave example. So that is how this development or science and technology can also contribute to the development of economics. Now I would like to talk about little bit more on, since I am from biology background, I'll give you how biotechnology has contributed to the growth of economics. Maybe I don't know how many of you know about this BT cotton. I think all of you know about cotton. Okay, so what is this BT cotton? So they have, scientists in 1990s, they have developed one technology where they use this something called as transgenically modified plant. They took some proteins from one bacteria and they inserted into the plant. The idea is that because earlier these cotton plants were affected by some pest, and specifically there were certain called bollworms. I think different flies. There is a category called bollworm. They used to eat the leaf of the plant. So what happens when these eat the leaf of the plant? What do you expect? Do you expect any crop? No, because there is no leaf, there is no photosynthesis. So plants cannot produce the food. As a result, what happens? There is a loss for the farmer. So what happened? Certain companies, they developed a technology where they inserted the gene into the plant, and as a result, they could get this BT cotton. Now, when the farmer grows this, what happens? There is a drastic increase in the crop. As a result, they can also increase their livelihood, productivity, etc. So in that way, this technology has benefited the farmers. That is one way. Second, you may be thinking, what happens when, how insect will die? So normally what happens, this protein is inactive. You know what is inactive? Outside it is not active. When this larvae eats the leaf, so what happens? The protein goes inside the stomach, so where it becomes active. As a result, what happens? This will create certain pore in the lining of the stomach. So insect is no longer able to feed. So as a result, it undergo paralysis and death of the insect. So thereby it protects the crop. So that is the advantage of BT cotton. That is one aspect. Secondly, it also not given increased productivity and profitability, also cost savings. So before this technology, they wanted to spray most of the pesticides, and it also contribute to lot of cost. Then also improved livelihood. Because of this, the farmer could get more profit, and that profit he can utilize on the education of the children and also other aspects of the day-to-day living. And also because of this technology, many industries started coming up to develop other pesticide kind of, this kind of drugs, not only drugs, this kind of seeds. So as a result, it could give lot of opportunities for youngsters and also job opportunities. So in that way, science also can contribute to the growth of the economics. Now I'll come to the other part, that as I told you, what happens, a marriage between king and queen, that is science and economics. Now it will give you lot of opportunities, but also other side, if you see, I'll give other example, there are certain ethical as well as societal concerns are there. So one has to deal it very carefully, because I'll give one example how it can lead to the ethical and other reasons. There is a technology called terminator seed technology. I'll tell you, I'll just explain what is the terminator seed technology. Now, certain companies, I don't want to mention the name, now it is banned here. So they developed a seed that could give high yield. So what happens? Farmer has to go to the industry to get the seeds. So in the first generation, that is when he first get the seed and grow in his field, he used to get high yield. But what is the drawback? Second time, he cannot use these seeds. That means these seeds are sterile. That means they cannot reproduce second time. So what happens? What is the difficulty here? There is a profit for the industry. But at the same time, if you see in terms of farmer, for him it is a burden, because every time he has to depend on the industry. So in that way, we have to think about, there is a good thing also, there is a bad thing also. So both should go hand in hand. So what I want to say is, generally they go parallelly, that is science as well as economics. So one is depending on the other, similarly vice versa. So in other words, what I want to conclude is, they have a symbiotic relationship. Maybe you may be knowing about sandalwood, right? Sandalwood tree. What is this one importance of sandalwood tree? One is, it is very expensive. But imagine you cannot put the sandalwood tree alone. It will not grow properly. So it required the other trees because it is a kind of parasites. Then only it can grow. So what I want to conclude is science and economics, they have a lot of opportunity. So they should go hand in hand, and provided we should take care of the societal concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Santosh Govias, for speaking in such a way that all of us, including laypersons like me, were able to understand. And the examples that you gave made everything very clear. So thank you. Please reserve your questions for the question answer session. Now, I am very privileged to hand over the session to Dr. Dennis Fernandez, who is from Humanities, but at the same time is a very good administrator, and all of you know that he is the director of the Arupe block, and I'm sure he is going to throw a lot of light on how economics can partner with other topics under the humanities. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, the moderator and my fellow panelists, staff members and students. I think I have nothing left after Manoj and Santosh Govias had given you a lot of inputs, how these things could be used and misused. All these things, you learned, but I do not have that type of charming talk now. I always wonder, I do not know, king and queen, sometimes little difficult to hard to, digest, because then that question comes to me, where we are, okay? Whether we are just soldiers or ministers, I do not know. So that question comes to me. But then, in spite of that, I always wonder, this economic subject in humanities, normally we keep economics in humanities, but sometimes you have economics in BSc too, not sometimes, we also have here. But then at the same time, I also see there another subject like economics in science, that is chemistry. Either you say chemistry in biological sciences or in physical sciences. Like that, economics you find in arts or humanities, you find in science, you also find in, commerce management, everywhere you see that subject. Without that, things will not work. Sometimes it shows its effect directly, sometimes indirectly. But economics is there. The presence of economics you see either directly or indirectly in every activity of human being. That is one of the things one must notice. See, for example, I am teaching history. When I teach history, without economics, I cannot teach history. I'll give one example. When I teach British rule in India, if you look at the British, they came as traders, and later on became the usurper of power and started ruling here. That is not the only thing. Later, they developed a theory, ideology, saying that we are the Ma-Bap of Indians. We came here to civilize Indians. The textbooks carried in the schools also said this. Even present-day governments are doing same thing, what benefits we did. And that comes in the textbooks. Because the only place where people do not oppose is in the classrooms. Students do not ask questions. So therefore, these things will come in the textbooks. And that is what the British did. So when people wanted to fight against the British, they wanted reasons. What reason you are going to speak against the British, against their rule in India? If you say railways, British say, we introduced railways for you. If you say education, we brought English education for you. So how you are going to oppose it? The one of the first theory which came from economists about the British rule in India, and that is drain theory. Many of you are aware this drain theory. The proponents of drain theory, R.C. Dutt, as well as Dadabhai Naoroji, they brought this theory. How Dadabhai Naoroji said it is un-British rule in India, and how it has taken the wealth of India to Britain without our knowledge. Even if you're talking about railways, who introduced railways? British. Yes. How was it done? The private individuals came here, invested here, and we had to pay for that. For that capitalism which was invested here, we have to pay in interest. 4% interest was levied on India. So Indian exchequer had to pay this. So this is how we bring economics while teaching history. People started talking about golden age of the Guptas, when we speak in history. But then economics comes there again. How you are telling that it is golden age? So people like D.D. Kosambi, the historians, early Marxist historians, they looked at the coins. Do you say golden age by looking at the gold coins of the Guptas? Most of these coins they found out, most of these coins were not as pure gold coins like the ancient coins which were brought by earlier rulers like Kanishka and others, or Kushanas, to that extent. They also verified, how to find out the circulation of the coins. Gold coins were there with the rulers, but then whether they were circulated, how do you find out? Normally, when the coins are circulated in hands, naturally the coins and gold in particular, it's worn out. Right? Nanya savetade. And this is what exactly the people looked at. Economists looked at the things. See, it is not in circulation. Maybe it was kept only for a decorative purpose. Therefore, some Marxist historians wanted to mention, if at all there is a golden age in Indian history, why only Gupta age? For upper caste, upper class, all the ages are all the ages are golden age. But for the lower class, none of the ages. If at all there is a golden age, it should be in the future, not in the past. So new version of history is coming up. New version of narration of a history which comes up, and it says whatever that is said in the earlier part is nullified and said something else. Maybe economics also tries to help us in this regard. It is not only for history, but also for the subjects like sociology, political science. We find the use of economics is very much essential. The constitution makers, when they realized that we wanted to have a India which is equal in the society, everyone must feel equal, and how to do that? How to give this equality for everyone, especially, for the downtrodden, untouchables. Then they found that they must be empowered, economically empowered. So economic empowerment is a major thing which could be applied, and that could be slowly bring them into society, and other things, other rules also could be made. And once they are economically independent, because those are the people who are suffering a lot, not only socially but economically, so they could be empowered and they could be brought to the main front, and that way they could be made part and parcel of the main society. Perhaps the reservation policy comes in that line. We speak about sometimes against reservation, but then one of the major motive of reservation is to see that those who are economically, socially, backward, they must be brought socially forward, but through making them economically empowered. So this way, economics, and coming to political aspects, because I'm given 10 minutes, I'm sorry, I may not be able to finish certain things, but then I'll wind up with this political aspect. You may be aware that immediately after the First World War, there was a crisis. The crisis was, you find that depression. One could see depression in the world. Till then, people were thinking that political leaders should not interfere in the economic life of the people. What we call it, laissez-faire economy. Laissez-faire economy was an economy which government's intervention was very least. It did not interfere much. Now there is depression, no buyers, no money with the people. people were what to do. People were not, government was, politicians were no idea what to do with that in entire Europe. Especially it happened in Europe. They had no idea. But then one person came, people laughed at him in the beginning, and he was Keynes. You know what he said? Dig the holes and fill the holes. The guarantee scheme which you are having now, no? It's a part of that. 5 guarantees. Same thing. Dig the hole and fill the hole. People, administrators, politicians initially laughed at him. What, this man is talking nonsense. They said, he brought this idea saying that government should interfere in the economic life of the people. Make them to dig somewhere. If there is not required, ask them to dig there. And once it is dug, ask them to fill it and pay for it. Both for digging and filling, pay. People will have money. People will get money. Once you have money, then you will spend that money. So, once you allow the women to enter into KSRTC bus, men also follow them. Only women will not pay. Women will not pay, but men will have to pay. Right? So, that is the economics behind whatever these people, we don't understand the economics of what these politicians are talking about. When you give 2,000 rupees for a woman, naturally she will not keep safely for years together. She will spend it. It will go to the market. Then market will improve. That is the economics behind all these things. But sometimes, therefore, I said, either directly or indirectly, economics is part and parcel of your life, whether you like it or not. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think your wealth of experience was very much revealed in the examples that you gave and the seamless way in which you could talk about various topics. Thank you. Now, being an English teacher, this is the cliche that I like to avoid but keep repeating. Last but not the least. Now, Mr. Royal D'Souza is someone who also wears many hats. And I think he's one of the most busy lecturers in the college because he's an expert in IT. And today, there isn't any field which doesn't need the technical expertise of people like Mr. Royal D'Souza. So I'm sure he will be able to make all the connections between economics and the other fields, especially the field of information and technology. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Respected moderator and respected panelist and my dear faculty members and students. First of all, I would like to congratulate the department for organizing this panel discussion where we can discuss a lot of things from variety of subjects. So first of all, to begin with, I can start relating economics to computer science like this. When we talk about computer science, we find so many companies. And when I say IT company, the first name comes to our mind, first of all, right now is TCS and other things. But a few days back, we were thinking it's Google, right? Google. So how many employees are working in Google? Any guess? Around 180,000 employees, 180,000 plus employees. What about Infosys? What about Infosys? Around 32,000. What about, I'm telling the fact. What about Facebook? It's 67,317 employees, full-time faculty members. What about ChatGPT, which is called OpenAI? How many employees? 3 months back, it was 400. Now it is 770. Exact. This is the difference. I think after 30th November 2020, 2023, once they announced ChatGPT, we started using ChatGPT, and the progress, what we are seeing is much, much, far, far better than what companies we have seen, that is Google, Infosys, and other companies. In fact, once ChatGPT was announced, Microsoft, Google, and all other companies started, or they involved themselves and started adopting the technology into their system, and they grown. If you see the profitability of OpenAI, if you see their proper infrastructure of OpenAI, it is a non-profitable organization actually. But if you Google it now, you will find $3 billion profit. Not only that, if you see properly or if you make a proper analysis, after announcing ChatGPT, they made a separate company, which is profit-based company, and the Google, Microsoft, and all other companies have taken shares from this company. And it is 100% a shareable company, profit shareable company. Why I'm talking about this is the income what these Google, Infosys, and other companies have generated from past few years, just 1.5 years. If you see the progress, there is a huge difference. And this is the impact on economy. How many of you heard about, there is something called AI. Everyone knows AI, artificial intelligence. There is something called AGI. How many of you heard about AGI? This is something creative, that is artificial general intelligence. Just imagine we can use ChatGPT. We have seen the power of 3.5. We have seen the power of 4. Just imagine the power of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is going to be launched soon. What we are seeing is just a trailer. ChatGPT is just a trailer. The superior of this ChatGPT is AGI. I think the math students, you know, there's something called Q star. Q star. Q star is something, say while playing the chess, you have those coins, chess coins. You place one coin on one, what is that called? Square. A person who is sitting next to that chessboard has to think, how I have to move this coin to the next square, right? In fact, we have seen so many games in computers where if you start playing, we will not win, computer only win. That is just a program. Q star is something where the moment if you tell your AI the source and the destination, if you keep a coin on one particular square, it will start analyzing what way you can move this coin to the next square. And if you move this, what will happen? Q star is having two parameters, the source and the destination. I'm just giving example of chessboard. Just imagine you are sitting here and listening. This is the source. Now we are planning where I will be after 3 or 4 years. You are giving this information to the AI model. And AI model will tell you what way you can take up your decisions and you can reach to your destination. That is Q star. And this is under progress. And whatever I told, that is artificial general intelligence is already growing. And we can see that if you Google it, you will come to know. You can just Google it, A star, later after the session, Q star and AGI, you will come to know what is the progress, what is happening. Okay, recently so many things have happened in OpenAI. This is all because of this. Okay, and just before I conclude, I think few days back, that is on March 12th, I think, there is something called Devin AI. Devin AI, new innovation. Devin AI. Devin AI is a AI which can write programs, which can create softwares, which can create another AI, which can create next machinery, next technology. So we are having this in our hand, and with this progress, we don't know what will happen to our economy. So definitely, we have a lot of opportunities. Definitely 100% sure that we will not lose employability. We are not going to lose anyone. Human beings are human beings. Machine is machine. But if we don't improve ourselves, it is gone. So when we adopt technology, definitely economy will grow, and this will impact on many countries. Many can say that, no, we don't want to adopt technology, because if we adopt technology, we can't give importance to our human resource. But those countries who have already given importance to AI, they will progress, and our country will not progress. So we can't say that we can't adopt technology. We have to go with the technology, and technology will help to grow with respect of economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Royal Sir, for throwing a lot of light on what is happening in the IT sector and how economics is related to the IT sector. Well, friends in the audience, this is post-lunch session, and usually I'm used to seeing some people nodding off in my class, be it UG or PG, but I think the panelists have kept all of you awake. And that itself shows how engrossing this session was. If you like the session, give the panelists a big hand. Because I really, learnt a lot of new things. And I've just jotted down a few things. I'll just take a minute or two to sum up in my own way how this session went. And then I will throw this session open for questions. Okay, so I'm sure there are some questions lingering in your minds, and you can ask the panelists the questions as soon as I throw it open to you. So I think what we saw, dear students, is that economics is like the cows in Mysore. Have you seen the cows in Mysore? Those of you who have gone there, they're everywhere. In English, we call this ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means everywhere. I think economics has that nature of being everywhere and being extremely important. But as Dr. Dennis put it, it is sometimes a double-edged sword. It can cut both ways. And I think Dr. Santosh Govias also put it, ethics are very important. Just getting into genetically modified food and increasing your profits can sometimes lead to various catastrophic consequences. And he was talking about symbiosis. I think that is a beautiful concept that we have with economics pairing with various aspects. Here we saw some 4 major aspects, but there are many others which we have not touched upon today for want of time. And I'm sure that 10 minutes was nothing that was given to the panelists with their wealth of experience and their ideas. I'm sure each one of them could have presented beautifully for an hour without any, hassles. And it would have been very valuable for all of us. So I think basically what we have found after listening to the 4 panelists is that there are a lot of opportunities in the field of economics, not pure economics, but also applied economics. And I think since we are living in an interdisciplinary world, I think all of you, especially, with your entire lives ahead of you, and especially those of you who are going to pass out of our institution soon, have to keep your mind open, and you have to experiment. You have to be willing to innovate. You have to be willing to, get your skills across by tapping into different challenges that are available in a multidisciplinary arena that is there for you. So let me not speak more than this now. And before I throw open the panel to questions, I'd like to thank the Department of Economics, Dr. Manor Serrao, and all my friends in the Economics Department for giving me this wonderful opportunity to moderate this session in the company of a very esteemed panel. So I am very thankful to the department. And it was a wonderful experience for me to listen to them and learn a lot of things which perhaps otherwise I would have to spend a lot of time reading books or listening to various other, YouTube and other things like that. Everything was distilled and given to all of us beautifully in the span of 10 minutes each. So once again, I'd like to thank the panel and now throw open the session to all of you. Kindly stand up and ask your questions. And you can also mention which of the panelists you're directing your questions to, or if it is a general question, one of them or all of them could respond. Over to all of you. Be very short crisp when you ask your questions, and be very clear when you ask your questions. Yeah.
Sir. Good afternoon, sir. My question is to Santosh, sir. You told that by the improvement of biotechnology, they created a breed of a cotton plant which would self-destroy the pests. So wouldn't this tamper the pesticide industry and then all the allied industries associated with pesticide industries? And wouldn't that tamper economy of the country?
Yeah, it's a good question. But if you see the health perspective, you are supposed to reduce the pesticides, right? That's why I said, see, both will be, there is a mutual relationship. It is like one is going up, another is coming down. So in other words, what I want to mention is, see, if the crop is good, so that will benefit the farmers. But if you are using more of pesticide, automatically the pesticide industry economics will come down, or economy will come down. But in that way, but in the overall large scenario, if you see, so this will definitely benefit the farmers. And also he can, save more money than investing on the pesticides. So that is how it is, getting a lot of acceptance all over the world, this technology. But you cannot use it for all the crops. Then it will lead to other, other kind of, I think you must have been aware of this GM crops. A lot of discussion is going on. Then pooling of genes and other things. So that is also there. Hope I have answered your question.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question is for Royal, sir. So you said that artificial intelligence will not create any unemployment. But I heard that upcoming robots will be taking place of our teachers, where they will teach. So what is your take on this?
Yes. It's a vast topic. That's why I concluded with only one sentence. If you just go back to some years back, when a computer was invented, when computer was invented, they were saying that all the jobs, clerical jobs, all those things are replaced by the computers. But definitely those who have not skilled at that particular time, they lost the job. Those who were skilled, they could continue their job and they could do it in a faster way. If I take the example of ChatGPT or any other platforms, whatever we have in present scenario, if you start saying that, no, I don't want to use that. If I use, I will lose the job. Definitely you will lose the job. Instead, if you say that, yes, I will learn something from this ChatGPT and I will upskill myself and I will go for the next position, then you will get your job. You will continue your job. This is what I can say.
Thank you, sir.
So my question is to Royal sir. So you told there are many AIs coming, this, that we have to improve our skills up to date, up to the AI skill. So, and also you told like the different AIs, like recently on March 12, one AI came. So where can we like improve our skills? Like how will we know like, okay, this skill is related to this AI? And like how will we know like the different AI this AI has come into the market and even the information is not like reaching us. It's just like, okay, you search in Google this thing, on the top 5 AIs you get, you just go through that. You don't know where, there are like n number of AIs. Where do you find like particular AI?
Okay, good question. Once you are into something, definitely will start exploring things, right? And once you get a taste of something, you feel that, yes, I want to explore more, and you will start exploring. In present scenario, there is something called prompt engineering. Have you heard about prompt engineering? So prompt engineering is a master thing. If you know this, you can become excellent in AI. So this is the basic level, what I can say, basic foundation course to get into AI. If you know prompting anything, you can get whatever you want in this world. So even things which are not existing, things which you want to know, things what is coming, that is what I was telling, the Q star. Q star can analyze things and can tell what happens in after 5 years. That is the power of AGI. So once you start exploring one concept, you will start exploring other things. So best thing is learn prompt engineering, and you will come to know what way you have to communicate with the AI components and how this will help you to improve your knowledge with respect of AI tools.
Okay, one last question and then we will close this panel discussion.
This is to Royal sir. So you said that learning skills of AI will not lead to unemployment. But you can see recently there are a lot of layoffs going on to get a maximized profitization regarding, because most of things are getting AI. And I saw recently in news that Mercedes have replaced the human manpower to an robotic AI. And second question is that, won't you think that AI will lead to to a sanctioning of a war in a way of world war? Rather than using weapons, we can use AI in economical way to harm other countries. Thank you, sir.
Answering the first question, if you see in one perspective, definitely yes. But if you start exploring things and if you start knowing things, and once you get the knowledge of things, what is happening, you can improve yourself and get in for a better jobs. So if you see the manufacturing company of your graphic card, olden days, they had a very basic graphic card. Now, when I was researching yesterday, I came to know that they're coming up with the realistic game models. That is nothing but in this room, the models are placed. Till now, we are playing in a mobile phone. The models are placed here, robots are placed here, and they are playing. That is a improvement what is happening. Definitely, when these kind of improvement happens, there is a possibility that people will lose their job and they will be replaced. Even in Amazon also, the warehouse, where we have a complicated works, where employees are working, where they should not stand, maybe the chemical factories, where they are standing there and they are working, where we can't even breathe for 2 seconds. In such places they are working. And if we are replacing those kind of employees with robots, definitely that will help this community. And they can be placed somewhere else, maybe after skilling them. The second one is definitely we have to go with ethics. Ethics we need to follow. That is why government is also coming up with variety of IT acts, and they're working on variety of controls to monitor this. And even there was some discussion, I don't know how many of you are aware of this, some major people who are involved in decision making, they are telling, let's pause this AI progress for 6 months. That is how the AI is growing. So they are requesting, let's pause this AI progress, because just 2023, November 30, we invented ChatGPT, and we heard about ChatGPT. Now, if you go and search of AI tools, you will find 1 lakh plus tools which are available. We are just talking about AI. There are several tools which are available in online, which speaks about AI or automation. So ethics follows a major role here.
So thank you, sir. And let's conclude this panel discussion on a positive note. I think AI, just like a lot of other developments in technology, can be used, abused, or disused. And I think being human resources, I don't think we will ever be replaced. This is my optimism. And I think humans are needed because we have the greatest resource called the human brain and the human heart. And I really feel that the heart and the brain, if they go together with empathy and by using both the intelligences, the IQ and the EQ, I think we will still be marching ahead. And I would like to thank my panel here, for the wonderful job they have done in presenting economics as a viable future for all of us. So thank you very much for your expertise and for presenting it so beautifully. Each one of you, in your own inimitable ways, have been extremely creative. So nobody really found this session tedious. I'm sure about that. And I would like to once again thank the organizers and thank all of you, dear students, for being here. All the best and God bless.